Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys some tips for your cross to F2L transition. Now the cross to F2L transition is arguably one of the most important, most difficult, and also one of the most underrated steps in a CFOP solve. If there's any pause during this step, your solve can take a second or more longer than it otherwise would, which as you become faster can be quite significant. So let's get straight into it. The best and perhaps the most obvious way to minimize your cross to F2L transition is to completely predict your cross plus your first pair all during inspection. Now the problem with this is that unless you get a simple case, this is usually quite difficult and generally comes with practice and experience. However, the next best thing is quite a bit easier. Just like when looking ahead during your first two layers, instead of predicting where certain pieces will end up, try to track those pieces. In the case of your cross to F2L transition, you track these pieces while solving your cross. After all, when you're inspecting a cube, you're just taking time to look ahead. This introduces the question of how to choose which pieces to track. During inspection, try to identify pieces that won't move or won't move very much while you execute the moves to solve your cross. Here you can see that I will only be using the F, R, and D layers to solve the cross, so these pieces won't be affected. Sometimes, such as in this case, you will find a piece that makes up an F2L pair, preferably in the top layer, that won't move at all when you solve your cross. If you see this, look for its corresponding piece, in this situation the corner piece right here, and attempt to predict roughly where that piece will end up. I see that this piece will be in the top layer, but I don't know how it'll be oriented. But that's fine, you don't need to know exactly where or in what orientation the piece will be. While knowing its precise end position is certainly preferable, just knowing that both pieces will be in the top layer can be tremendously helpful, so long as you have decent look ahead and can track the piece. In some situations, there are simple ways to set up an easy case for your first pair while solving the cross. For example, while we're solving the cross right here, it's an easy 3-move cross, but before bringing this down, we can see that these two pieces are right here. So first, I'm going to move this out of the way, then bring this down. Then you can see we have a very easy case for our first pair. So here's another example. This is a little bit more difficult, but it can be quite helpful. So you can see we have the white cross, this piece, and these two. So I'm going to bring this down, move this over, then we have these two. So I'm going to bring this down, but before bringing this down as well, I see that these two pieces are right here. So what I can do is just do a U prime, and when I bring this down, you can see that these two pieces were set up. I have one last very brief tip. This may seem obvious, but if you're color neutral, think about your first pair when choosing your cross. For example, sometimes I see a couple easy crosses during inspection. In this case, I will usually decide which side to start on based on which has an easier first pair. Also, remember that you have 15 seconds of inspection, so really use it to look for your first pair. So that's all for this video. If it helped you out, make sure to click that like button and check out my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.